So there's scenarios and situations sometimes when you want to be a writer, or you know what I mean, you find a topic or an issue to write about, especially when you know what I mean, making songs, you know what I mean. A lot of them come from true stories. So scenario situations are not included in this. You know what I mean? This is like the reality of life. This is diary story number 2, and I might be like Will Chamberlain. It's like, nah. Janae and I were friends for nearly 5 years. She said she wrote many songs about me in a shy voice. The interesting part was we never talked, but we shared the same similar circle of interests and friends. I would see her around the town, and she would always have a provocative fashion tone, which resembled royalty fashions in India or some sort. I never had the opportunity to speak up about the clothes she wore, but in my mind, I knew she was different. She always carried her journal around, and I did wonder what was in that notebook. One afternoon, I sent a friendly text, and she responded back, "For what?" My text read, "I'm sick of seeing you carry around that notebook, and I want to read it." With an LOL text back, she said, "Maybe one day." In my head, I figured I did the right thing, but in the back of my mind, I knew I made her happy. Her personality to me was seldom to speak. So a few days later, I seen her having an argument with a dude I did see her with a lot. I was not sure if they were dating, but based on the conversation they were having, I did not appreciate the tone that her friend was using. Feel me? With an evil glare, I stared and asked if everything was okay. They both gestured that they were okay, but I was pissed off because she was too sweet of an individual to be using that kind of tone and language with her. Later that evening, I heard a knock at my door. To my surprise, it was Janae in her notebook. I was fresh out the tub from my mail bath and jokingly asked her, "Excuse the aroma and candlelit scent." With my towel around my waist, I led her into the living room and asked her to wait as I put some clothes on. Busting out laughing, she said, "I brought my notebook. I want you to hear something." Freshly uniformed for the occasion, I walked out in a white cut t-shirt, my boxers, Louis Vuitton flip flops, and some short cut ankle black socks. I told her to come to the room so we could be in a cooler area. She grabbed her bag and made her way into the room. Sitting on the end of the bed, not shy but focused on a journal entry, she asked me, was I ready? I sat closest to the headboard and she began to read. As I sat near the headboard, she propped her legs up near my torso and I held onto her feet as she read a poetry song to me aloud. Understanding that words have power, I leaned in and began kissing on her side and sucking on her hips, licking all over her panties, biting and pulling skin and panties at the same time. She removed her pants and panties with her left arm, while both of us ripping her black pants to the floor. Scaling back on her back, I began to lick her vagina as if tears were running down my face. She held on to my head and I ate her out until we both rolled around on the floor. After coming in my mouth multiple times, she rubbed my head and we genuinely accepted the passion that was made and passed out. Waking up to private and deep conversations, we sat shoulder to shoulder, expressing our own theories of life, reciting that she did not want to leave just yet. We had the roughest sex ever, the roughest sex I've ever had in my life. I never heard my name mentioned in a manner to where I wanted to keep that female around. She held on to me tough, and I punished her vagina, through her ribs, until we passed out and woke up and made love again. After a trip to the restroom, We realized that the sun almost was coming up, and our final conversation was kind of based on the conversation we had earlier. She expressed that to feel better about herself, she would have to move on from the situation that she was in.
Sure.
Walking her to the door, we looked deep into each other's eyes and knew that if she ever had told about our love to the individuals around her, that the decreasing part of the communication that we did develop will be something deeper than a Titanic sea. She grabbed her notebook and asked me, "Can you please just sign this page right here?" As a sign page and signature away our love onto her notebook, I gained access to forever. Forever that I would always remember that night. I felt no stranger to her notebook, and I guess years later, she felt no stranger to me.
Feel
I was not a stranger to her notebook.
a stranger to a notebook.